watching as the whistleblower, as she's there now testifying, Frances Hogan, who worked for Facebook for 2 years. And I will tell you, I know some people like watching Netflix. I am completely obsessed with this testimony because, and I'm sure you've been watching some of it, she is so well-spoken. She has a Harvard MBA. She has worked at the company for 2 years and has gone on to say, I mean, I'm sure there's going to be a big rebuttal, but right now she's saying that the company is favoring profits over the well-being of folks, young people, everything down to trafficking and drug cartels, anger, and more. Tell me your thoughts on what we could see with Facebook. Is this a big deal at this point?
Actually. So I've been a big Facebook bull.
Right. And so with all of that, as we look at Facebook and what a great company, I know you were talking about when it had the IPO and, you know, when it first came around, people were so excited. And as you said, they've had a lot of PR issues. And thankfully, with this outage, it seems that it's been said that no user data has been compromised. But you're right, it wasn't a hack. It was poor work, right? Configuration changes to the routers that were faulty and the networking traffic between the data servers. And in the meantime, people who do business on Instagram, on WhatsApp, this was a big problem, not only here in the United States, but also around the globe. People do business using these platforms. So how big is too big? Do you have a rating and a target on this stock? In the meantime, I mean, who doesn't love, you know, looking at stuff on Instagram and all that? I get it. Do you have a rating on this company, and what's the outlook now?
Yeah, so I went. It was about a year ago when I went to hold. You know,
Yeah, it really does, and you use a great example because a lot of people have unfriended friends that they thought were their friends, and now they have different views, and it has been promoting anger or different visions or whatever, right? And also the concerns about instability of folks, and so that it really preys on those based on what they were looking for. She actually used the example of a kid who's looking at healthy recipes, and then suddenly they get bombarded with anorexia and, you know, things that just sort of turn not the way you had hoped. That being said, as you broaden it out, and not just Facebook, I know there's Snap, there's TikTok, there's all kinds of different platforms, but in the world of competition or social media, are there other names? Do you like Google better? Are there other names you like more than Facebook at this point as you do the research there at CFRA?
Oh yeah, no, I think Facebook is a solid hold, given given this offset. But I still
TD Ameritrade Network. I interviewed them as they listed, and a newer company, right, and a lot of gaming for younger folks. I think teenagers, 13-year-olds. That's their target. But that's an exciting one. Thank you for bringing us that buy on Roblox as well. The hold on Facebook. This was a great conversation, John. Thank you so much for joining me today, and we'll continue to see how all of this plays out as we get more and more information from the whistleblower and what the rebuttal may be. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. John Freeman, CFRA, thank you very, very much. Good to see you. Today we're focusing on Tesla. Tesla's up about 20% in the last 3 months. Seth Goldstein, Senior Equity Analyst, Morningstar. Jay Jacobs, Senior VP, Head of Research and Strategy at Global X ETFs. So glad you're both here. As I said, the stock has shot up, right, in the last 3 months. Record deliveries, and a lot of talk about $1,000. So as we take a look here, I know Morningstar, I saw, Seth, that your target is more around the $600 range, and it's not because you don't like Tesla, but because that's where you think it's more fairly valued. Tell me about that.
When you're valuing Tesla, there's two important things that can...
And I get a more cautious tone. We've had on Dan Ives of Wedbush, who I know you know, $1,000 target. So, Jay, as we take a look, I mean, he was saying that it has a very efficient supply chain because it has factories in China and in California, so they made it through the chip shortage a little better than others. And we also heard from Citi that has been just talking about China EV sales up 220%. year over year. Your thoughts, Jay? I mean, is this a winner?
Well, I think it's undeniable that we're seeing the demand for electric vehicles just absolutely.
Looking at 220% growth for EV sales in China. And so with that, you still see that it might just have slower growth than you anticipate. Is that right? I mean, is it just because of competition? You don't think Tesla's way ahead of the other guys? I know you mentioned some of the actual products in your note. I was going through that. You mentioned the light trucks and some of the names. Are there some parts of Tesla that seem better than others?
Certainly, Tesla right now has a technological advantage and makes the best EV on the market. You know,
as you talk about some of the competition, I mean, you're running these global X ETFs. Is this something you would put in there? Are there other automakers that seem more attractive to you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I used to say Tesla had a 5-year head start